This is Plant-Based Briefing. Student sues school district for free speech violation for silencing her criticism of cow's milk, from Physicians Committee for Responsible Medicine at pcrm.org. And I'm Marian Erickson, and this is the curated content plant-based podcast where I narrate a variety of articles on plant-based and vegan living with permission in about 10 minutes or less every weekday. And today's article is from the Physicians Committee for Responsible Medicine. They're an amazing nonprofit organization founded by Dr. Neal Barnard, and they combine the clout and expertise of more than 17,000 physicians and 1 million members and supporters worldwide. They're changing the way doctors treat chronic diseases such as diabetes, heart disease, obesity, and cancer by putting prevention over pills and empowering patients to take control of their own health. And since 1985, they've worked tirelessly for alternatives to the use of animals in medical education and research and for more effective scientific methods. Their staff of physicians, dietitians, and scientists works with policymakers, industry, the medical community, the media, and the public to create a better future for people and animals. And one personal example of this is Physicians Committee has a group of doctors and dietitians attending a school board meeting at an adjacent county. I'm going to attend as well because they've asked supporters to come. I'm not going to speak, but I'll be holding up a sign. And they're speaking at the school board meeting because the school board spent $33,000 to buy a mobile meat smoker that now serves over 11,000 students in the county. And they're asking the superintendent and the board members to listen to the evidence about the connection between processed meat and disease and to shut down the quote-unquote pig rig, as students are calling it now. So they do great work all over the world, and this article today is another example of that. So now let's get to today's plant-based briefing. Student sues school district for free speech violation for silencing her criticism of cow's milk, from Physicians Committee for Responsible Medicine at pcrm.org. In a first lawsuit of its kind, a Los Angeles high school student is suing her school district and the U.S. Department of Agriculture, USDA, for violating her First Amendment right to share information at school about alternatives to cow's milk and health concerns about dairy consumption. The Physicians Committee for Responsible Medicine, a nonprofit medical ethics and public health advocacy organization with more than 17,000 doctor members, filed a free speech lawsuit on Marielle Williamson's behalf with the U.S. Federal Court for the Central District of California in Los Angeles. Williamson, a senior at Eagle Rock High School, was told by her school that she could not share information about plant-based milk or critical of the dairy industry in the school cafeteria unless she provided pro-dairy content as well. "Our school is riddled with pro-dairy posters and promotions," Williamson said. The fact that a differing perspective from a student was shut down goes to show that the USDA is more focused on milk sales than the well-being of students. This lawsuit was the only way to make people aware of how wrong this is. In its lawsuit, the Physicians Committee alleges that the school district unconstitutionally discriminated on the basis of viewpoint by prohibiting Williamson from distributing information highlighting dairy's negative impacts, while school-sanctioned dairy promotions, such as Got Milk ads in the morning announcements, pervade Williamson's school. The government may not prohibit student speech simply based on its viewpoint. By law, fluid milk or cow's milk must be offered at every school lunch and breakfast served under the National School Lunch Program and the School Breakfast Program. Williamson is also concerned about her many classmates who can't drink cow's milk. Many people cannot digest lactose, including approximately 95% of Asian Americans, 60 to 80% of African Americans, 80 to 100% of American Indians, and 50 to 80% of Hispanics. About 75% of the Los Angeles Unified School District student population is Hispanic. Not providing appropriate beverages for these students sends the message that their school's food programs are not meant for them. Next week, U.S. Representatives Nydia Velázquez, Democrat New York, and Jamal Brown, Democrat New York, will reintroduce the Healthy Future Students and Earth Act, which would ensure that schools are better accommodating students who are unable to process lactose or who otherwise cannot consume dairy. The legislation would authorize school districts to provide a non-dairy fluid milk alternative consistent with the Dietary Guidelines for Americans to any student as part of a reimbursable meal without a note, and would require school districts to provide a non-dairy milk substitute if a parent or guardian makes a written request. Students don't need to consume dairy milk since there are so many other foods and beverages that can provide the calcium, protein, vitamins, and minerals that are needed for growth and energy. says Los Angeles cardiologist Heather Shankman, MD, a member of Physicians Committee. The lawsuit argues that a federal law mandating that, quote, any school that participates in the school lunch program shall not directly or indirectly restrict the sale or marketing of fluid milk products by the school or by a person approved by the school at any time or any place, unquote, unconstitutionally restricts the free speech of students. The USDA interprets that language to mean that cafeteria displays, printed material, and layout may not promote beverages other than dairy milk in a way that may detract from dairy milk sales. Even water may not be offered on the lunch line in a way that might interfere with a student taking milk. The dairy industry has a stranglehold on our students and our school meal programs, says Deborah Press, Associate General Counsel at the Physicians Committee. The USDA is so protective of the dairy industry that its policies outlaw even the smallest amount of opposition to the deluge of pro-milk messaging in schools. It will do anything it can, even gag student speech, to continue foisting unwanted, unhealthy, and culturally inappropriate foods on young people. Marielle and the Physicians Committee partnered through her experience as a student advocate in the Factory Farming Awareness Coalition's Advocacy Institute. You just listened to Student Sues School District for Free Speech Violation for Silencing Her Criticism of Cow's Milk by Physicians Committee for Responsible Medicine at PCRM.org. And I love this lawsuit, I love this student, and I love Physicians Committee. And if you're interested, I have a few related episodes, which I'll link in the show notes. 345, Why Wasting Milk in Schools is a Bigger Problem Than You Think. 307, The Twisted History of Milk in America. And bonus number 2, Dietary Racism. So check out those links, and please share this episode with anyone who might benefit, and thanks for listening.